Afternoon Live. I'm Kevin Reid. I'm not the editor of Account.ch as of the start of the week. My deputy editor Richard Crump has stepped up into those shoes, which is wonderful. Really pleased about that. But I have not let go of the Periscope broadcast. I'm going to carry on doing this until the old shepherd's crook comes out and removes me from office. But anyway, it's lovely to have you guys on board again for this week's Friday Afternoon Live. We're going to touch on a couple of very important things that have been going on this week. We'll talk about lease accounting, obviously a subject close to my heart, and the ongoing issues at HM Revenue and Customs. I'll try and get the lease accounting out of the way first, I think, for my sanity and everyone else's. So there are new lease accounting rules that have been put in place by the IASB and going to be implemented into international financial reporting standards. Basically, this is going to bring a lot of assets and liabilities relating to leasing onto company balance sheets for the first time. It's a very significant development as far as IFRS is concerned. The type of businesses that it's going to affect will be in transportation and real estate, where they hold lots of leases currently off their balance sheets. In terms of the actual numbers and the upshot of that, it's obviously going to affect financial ratios. Debt covenants are going to be impacted because the balance sheet is going to be skewed because of these things going onto the balance sheet. So that's obviously a big issue for CFOs and FDs around the world. We should also consider that the ISB has effectively failed its attempt to converge with FASB, the US accounting standard setters, because FASB are going to announce their own standard as far as lease accounting is concerned. And the key difference between this, and I'm going to have to read this out, is that it concerns how corporate lease customers should report lease expenses on their income statements. So obviously, Sir David Tweedy, who kind of pushed the ISB and FASB towards convergence, will obviously be upset that this is effectively a failure as far as IFRS convergence is concerned. He's kind of quite a pragmatic chap, and we'll see that a lot of ground has been covered since 03-04 and the launch of IFRS in 2005. Right, I've dealt with the lease accounting. Thankfully, I can move on to other matters. Not necessarily happy matters. You may have noticed there's been a lot going on with HMRC again this week. So Lin Homer is leaving. She's stepping down from the CEO role at HMRC. She took a lot of stick last week. Obviously, she was made a dame, and lots of tax advisors questioned her performance and that of HMRC in recent months and years, perhaps. But it hasn't ended there really. So we've had problems today relating to accelerated payment notices. As you'll be aware, this is where the taxman can take money out of accounts where they're concerned over tax avoidance and evasion. This issue, some of the APNs that they issued, they've had to rescind them. The process in which they followed hasn't worked out. Earlier on in this week, the Public Accounts Committee gave Lin another kick-in, concerned that HMRC was canning its investigations around HSBC and offshore accounts around LuxLeaks, and they took another grilling, unsurprisingly, around customer service. Now, the new accountancy age editor Richard Crump pointed out in his leader column this week that while the job may seem a poison chalice, and who would want to take it on? Would it be someone from private sector or someone from within government, another civil servant? Lin's obviously secured a whopping pension payout. She's been a civil servant for many, many years and held senior roles, and some decent remuneration to consider. So while we may all think that who on earth would want to run the tax man, there'll be, I'm sure, some ambitious people out there that think they can take the heat, and they'll be well rewarded for doing so. So I think that rounds up today's Friday Afternoon Live. Callum, my trusty cameraman, have we had any questions we need to
We haven't, no.
Okay, great. So I'm on the Camden House Unfiltered here in the Draft House. They very kindly put us up. Greatly appreciated. Get yourself out for lunch, have a couple of pints, chew the fat, and we'll see you next week for more of the same. Cheers.